Once upon a time, the Thunder had it all. Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, James Harden, a trio that felt destined to dominate the league. But history had other plans. Heartbreak, trades, and what-ifs that haunted the franchise for years. What do you think of when you hear Oklahoma City Thunder? KD's MVP run? Harden coming off the bench? Or maybe Westbrook's triple-doubles and heartbreak? But in 2025, it wasn't about the past anymore. Fast forward to a new generation, led by MVP Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, rising star Jalen Williams, and unicorn big man Chet Holmgren. Built patiently, built differently, but driven by the same dream. Originally traded to OKC in 2019, Shai didn't just fill the gap Durant and Westbrook left. He built something new. An MVP season, a finals MVP, and a championship all in the same year. KD might have been the better pure scorer, but Shai just became the greatest Thunder player ever. Welcome to Never Made the League, and this is the story of how OKC finally conquered the NBA. When the Oklahoma City Thunder traded away Paul George in 2019, it looked like a death sentence for the franchise. After losing Durant, then Westbrook, and now George, it felt like OKC would be stuck in rebuild limbo for years. But hidden inside that blockbuster trade was something more valuable than draft picks. A young guard named Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Shai's journey to OKC wasn't straightforward. Drafted 11th by the Charlotte Hornets, he was traded that very night to the LA Clippers, where he quickly impressed with his smooth handles, defensive instincts, and a calm, unshakable demeanor rarely seen in rookies. Yet it was the move to Oklahoma City that unlocked his true potential. Here, Shai was handed the keys, the freedom to make mistakes, experiment, and ultimately become the Thunder's centerpiece. By 2025, he wasn't just the best player on the team, he was the face of a new era. Shai wasn't the face they drafted, but after years of heartbreak, he became the face they needed. And the foundation for Thunder's return to glory. At point guard, the MVP himself, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Shai played 76 games, averaged an insane 32.7 points per game, shot nearly 52% from the field, knocked down 37.5% of his threes, and got to the line almost 9 times a game, hitting almost 90%. He also averaged 6.4 assists, 5 rebounds, and added 1.7 steals a night. Complete offensive engine. Next to him, Jalen Williams, 21.6 points per game, 48% shooting, 36% from deep, plus 5.3 rebounds and 5 assists, made All-Star, All-NBA third team, and All-Defensive second team. Truly a two-way. At small forward, Lu Dort, only 10 points per game, but locked down opposing stars every night, earning All-Defensive first team honors. Also hit over 41% from three, easily his career best. Center spot, Isaiah Hartenstein, 11 points, almost 11 rebounds, solid defense, and passing out of the post. He gave them interior muscle night by night. Finally, rookie turned starter Chet Holmgren. Played limited games due to injuries, but when he did, 15 points, 8 rebounds, 2.2 blocks, floor spacing, rim protection, classic modern big. Surround them with a key bench, guys like Carson Wallace, Aaron Wiggins, Isaiah Joe, and Alex Caruso, you had one of the deepest teams in the league. The 2025 Thunder entered the playoffs not just as contenders, but as the hunted. Everyone wanted to knock off the new kids on top. For the first round versus the Memphis Grizzlies, they started with a statement, a 4-0 sweep over Ja Morant and the Grizzlies. Shai averaged nearly 30 a night, while Chet and Jalen's defense turned Memphis' high-flying offense into frustration. The message was clear. OKC wasn't here for experience, they were here to win. On to the Western Conference semifinals versus the Denver Nuggets. Next up, the defending champs. Jokic and Murray threw everything they had at OKC, but the Thunder's pace, length, and depth overwhelmed Denver. Shai stayed calm in the clutch, Chet's rim protection versus Jokic, and Jalen Williams stepping up as a secondary scorer resulted in the Thunder winning the series and sending the champs home earlier than anyone expected. Next, we move on to the Western Conference Finals versus the Minnesota Timberwolves. Facing the Wolves' bruising front court, OKC showed they could play physical too. Lou Dort hounded Anthony Edwards into his worst shooting series of the playoffs. Chet held his own against Gobert. Shai? He just kept slicing through the defense, game after game. In just 5 games, OKC punched their tickets to the finals. Now we get to this legendary NBA Finals matchup versus the Indiana Pacers. A matchup few predicted: Thunder versus the Pacers. Indiana pushed OKC to the brink. Behind Tyrese Halliburton's playmaking and the Pacers' relentless tempo, Shai responded with an MVP caliber series. Big buckets, big plays, big moments. All of this led to Game 7, the moment where legends are made. OKC's defense held Indiana to just 91 points. Shai led with poise and finished the job. 103-91 victory. The confetti fell, and for the first time in franchise history, the Thunder were NBA champions. Shai took home Finals MVP, capping off an MVP season with the ultimate prize. From heartbreak to a rebuild to a dynasty in the making, the Thunder's time had finally arrived. For years, Oklahoma City lived in the shadows of what-ifs, replaying missed shots, blocked trades, and broken dreams. The heartbreak of losing stars, the near misses, the moments that slipped away. But in 2025, everything changed. Not because they chased the past, but because they built something entirely new. An MVP who never stopped working. A rising star who defended and created. A unicorn big man who overcame injury to dominate the paint. Together, they turned heartbreak into hope, and hope into history. It wasn't about replacing KD, Russ, or Harden. It was about writing a new story. One that belonged to Shai, Jalen, Chet, and the city that never stopped believing. The past will always be part of OKC, but for the first time, the future finally feels brighter. And maybe, just maybe, this is only the beginning. Thank you for watching Never Made the League. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss what's next. Leave a comment and let me know what sports stories, forgotten players, or upcoming dynasties you want me to cover.